Good evening, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Talking Drum on Viva Niger Radio. It is such a pleasure to be with you again. This is the second show we've had, literally since we opened the the Talking Drum back up online. Just because we had some audio difficulties earlier on, and I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed. It's just like, oh my God, where have you been all my life? I didn't realize how much, how badly I'd missed you. I didn't realize how much I'd missed Talking Drum. Apricot Hour is great, and we get to put the world to rights. But the Talking Drum really is the family program. It really is the program where we actually get to the nitty gritty of things, where we actually take a topic and we pull it apart and we put it all back together again and we put the world to rights. I swear to God, if Beijing conference and all the other people that gather together listen to the Talking Drum once in a while, the whole world would be a better place. Because my girls and I, and of course a couple of our gentlemen friends, we always have answers, we always have solutions, we always bring the good, the bad, as well as the downright ugly, and we do it all while being a member of the Bad Gang Club. So thank you so very much for joining us. Thank you for tuning in on another Wednesday. What's the weather like where you're at? What's going on where you're at? I know it's hump day. It's the middle of the week, and everyone's, oh, we're not quite at Monday, but we're not exactly at Friday either. So yeah, we need this Talking Drum. We need this little thing, just to get us back into the swing of things, just to let us not give up hope quite yet, and just make us, completely still stay in the game. Something to spice us on and keep us going. Now, I told you guys before the end of last week's show that we ease ourselves in a little bit slowly, just to get our feet around the whole thing, get our feet properly under the table. But I told you we were going to be doing something to do with sex, because I'm sorry, that's just how I am, and sex is good, and we should talk about it, and we should demystify it, right? We shouldn't have something that is so pivotal to the rest of our lives, and just not talk about it, and just not and shroud it up and things like that. I know a few of the guest callers are going to be coming in under their pseudonyms, so I can't wait to hear what they have to tell us today, because, ladies and gentlemen, we will be talking about pornography. Bum chicken wah, 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 wah. When the plumber comes around and tells you, Madam, I understand there's something wrong with your pipes, so your pipes need cleaning. Yeah, that's exactly. I've had a lot of plumbers come around by my house over the years. I've never had a cute one. He's usually like 55 with a pot belly, a little bit of body odor, maybe because he hangs around drains and toilets all day, right? I don't even know what that's about. But I've never had any of the ones that we see in the blue film, as they are known. Anyway, is it good? Is it bad? Should we use it? Should we watch it? Should we not? What about erotica? What about literotica? What about books? What about 50 Shades of Grey? It got pornography to be something that's in the mainstream, and it's actually something that BDSM is now something that people talk about, whereas this wasn't the case before. Should a wife feel some type of way if her husband indulges in pornography? Should a husband feel some type of way if his wife indulges in pornography? We're going to talk about all this and more tonight on the Talking Drum. As usual, you are more than welcome to join us in today's um show. Sorry, I'm just having one of the hosts, one of the participants, just talk to me. There are numbers you can call. You just come straight into the studio and let's have your thoughts. UK dial is 0330 998 1261. The US dial is +1 712 770 4032. The Niger dial is +234, as you know, 01 440 5024. In all cases, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to need the access code. The access code is 264812. That number again is 264812. I will be calling out these numbers intermittently throughout the show, so don't worry if you've missed it. Do still listen in. Join us for a fantastic, I can't wait to hear what my boys and girls are going to say today, because it's just going to be completely amazing. The HR director of the Bad Gang Club is already here with us, but I'm actually not going to bring her in straight away because I understand she's driving. So we might get a little bit of feedback from her. So let's start with Ikirukama. How are you, darling?
Hello, my darling. Good evening. Good
Good
evening,
evening, good
viewers,
evening, good evening.
listeners.
Nkiruka.
Apologies for the late entrance.
That's fine, that's fine. Did you hear today's topic? Do you know what we're talking about today? Dum, 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 dum,
Is it
dum.
is it not the SCX?
Is the SES. It says.
Ah,
We're talking.
my children are still awake, but it's alright. We're good
No,
to go.
actually, we're going to be talking about pornography. So we're going to be talking about
Oh,
pornography
okay.
and the role it plays within if you have a relationship. Actually, you know what? I also want to talk about the role it will play if you're single and how that affects. So if you spend a bit of time indulging in self-love, how does that
Yes.
translate over when you now have a partner? How do you get rid of that habit? How do you get used to actually being with someone else when you've always been used to
Mm.
doing things by yourself, for yourself, as it were? And now I'm going to bring on the other member of the Bad Gang Club that is actually in the house at the moment. And actually, let me introduce her by her proper name. She sometimes doubles as the HR director of the Bad Gang House, known for hiring and firing. But today, her name is Stella. Hi, Stella. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Rachel. Stella's here. Rachel is hiding somewhere in the background. She might have an opinion or two here.
Later. But I get them, right? It's Stella that's joining us today, right?
It's Stella that's joining. Stella is 95% here. We give Rachel a little bit of
A little
5%.
bit of room. Okay, fantastic. So
Woo-hoo!
it is just the trifecta in the house, just the three of us that are in the house at the moment. So we can start talking. We'll wait. Hopefully, I hope some guys join us. I really do hope some guys come in and they give their 2 cents because um, it seems to be. I hardly ever hear. Okay, let me rephrase that. I know some men who don't watch pornography, but most of the men I know who don't watch pornography are men who have had a very narrow escape with pornography, i.e., or more, it got to a point where I was getting addicted. It got to a point where I needed it to get a hard on or whatever the case may be. I don't know any man who has never used it, doesn't want to use it, doesn't know, I don't want, I don't care, blah, blah, blah. Whereas I know a few women who have opinions about it without actually ever, you know, ever having anything to do with pornography. They've never seen it, they hold very strict opinions about it, and they hold strict opinions for what they think their partners should do. So they hold a lot of judgments for the people who do watch it. So let me go around this cute little table that we have here right now. Let me start with, and I love the two of you because you are in different stages. One is married, one
Thank you, Stella.
isn't. I'm not married. Stella and Nkiruka, don't even remove yourself from this equation. You're inside. Uh-huh. So, so yeah, I would love to know, what is your take on pornography, ladies? Do you watch it? Do you engage? Do you what? And if you do, what genres do you engage in? Are you the kind of, there's some people who watch it but would never pick up a book. There's some people who only read erotic literature, for example, but wouldn't literally sit there with a TV and be pointing the remote or what have you. Um, Also, I want to talk about frequency. How often do you watch? Is it just once in a while, or are you like, man, I have a whole bedside table for, you know what? We'll go into it later. But what is your take on it, and what would be your take if you found out that your partner indulged? Let me start with Stella.
So, as expected, Stella watches pornography. I watch, I read, I'm, reading does it more for me than watching.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes, yes.
reading does it more for me than watching.
Mm.
What is the role of pornography? I think pornography plays the role that the individual chooses it to play. It
Okay.
can overwhelm your life and take over, or it can be just a piece of it.
Yes.
For
Yes.
me, I do watch and read pornography very frequently. I would say at least once or twice a week,
Okay.
especially on the weekend.
Oh, ho, ho. Hey, Stella's husband,
Stella,
oh.
baby.
Stella's husband, oh. Lucky
And my
her.
lovely, lovely husband
Out.
introduced me. My lovely husband introduced me to pornography. I think he also actually did not count on me, liking
Enjoying
it.
it.
He thought maybe, let me show this small girl this thing now. And I'm like, there
Not
is this whole side
knowing.
of it. Let's use this to figure it out.
Not knowing. Not
So,
knowing that you're the leader of the bad
not
gang.
knowing that, I think he unleashed Stella. He's the one that unleashed Stella because Stella previously was just this quiet somewhere, hidden somewhere. The man just unleashed Stella into the world. He did not know what he did at all.
So I'm gonna move to the other girls, but I want to ask you a question, which your thing just. So if he introduced you to it, does he still watch pornography? Do you ever watch it together,
Yeah,
or is it just everybody has their own time?
everybody has their time. We watch it together. We talk about it. We're like, oh, did you see this new movie? We do it.
Father, this is gonna be the best conversation.
Marcus. Stella, you don't spoil your husband.
In Kiruka, stop shouting because it's your turn. No, you're going to answer me.
Vanessa.
So talk to me, in Kirika. Do you ever watch pornography? Do you indulge in any of the other genres? Do you ever read it or whatever? How often? And have you ever or would you ever do it with a partner?
Listen, as bad as I may be vocally or whatever, I actually don't go out of my way to watch porn. I have
Okay.
nothing against it.
Okay.
Nothing at all. If
Okay.
it passes through my phone, which it did last month or the month before, where I saw Niger porn in action.
My
when it
dear,
passed
you
through,
saw that in there? Very good. We'll come back to that.
Hey, for that. In fact, I doff my cap for them. I fear. But it passed through my phone. But I have nothing against it at all. I don't indulge in it. I mean, my ex used to watch, as in he was fanatic for football.
No,
He
really?
watched past them. He watched past them for porn. That's
Oh
how
my
bad.
giddy
So I had
aunt.
nothing against that. If I read, but because it's like I just zone out of it. To me, it's like, oh well, everybody has what they like and what they don't. It's not like
Yeah.
I don't like it, but I just don't have time for it.
Do you know
So
what?
I
We've
don't
had
give
a
it.
conversation. We had a radio show way back in the early days of Talking Drum, and it was on masturbation. And I remember you saying
Yes,
it wasn't your cup of tea
it
at
wasn't my
all.
thing. It's just
Yeah.
not my thing.
So now I can
Not
understand.
that
I mean,
if
if
I
you don't
see
masturbate, then
it, I'll watch it, but I don't go out of my way to actually, like park up on a chair with a cup of coffee and like, hey, man, see that girl?
see that thing that
Hey,
just happened. Yeah.
hey, look at this side.
Mm,
I don't.
mm,
But
mm,
it's one of those things where, like I said, when it passed through my mobile phone,
mm.
then I open, I watch, eyes popped, jaw
Nicely.
dropped, and then I deleted.
Nicely. Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah, over
Okay.
to you. Yes.
So
Tell us
no,
your
no,
own.
no, I haven't. You calm down.
Eh?
We're joined by somebody else in the studio. Wait now, I'll talk. True to God.
Okay,
So
you talk. Oh.
we have one more member of the bad gang. In fact, she's not a member, she's royalty. We have the queen bee of the bad gang, Bimbo. Oh, no, 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 we don't. No, we don't. We have Carmen. We have Carmen.
Hey, exactly. So.
We need Carmen today.
We can't hear how.
Bimbo.
What do you mean you can't hear?
Oh, we can hear you
I'm here,
now.
I'm here.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was saying, consider okay. You know what?
It's gone again.
It's not her. I think I'm gonna mute.
Again, right?
I'm gonna mute Rachel right quick. I think the problem. Rachel's driving, so Rachel, if you bear with me, I'm just gonna put you on mute right quick, and then I'm gonna bring you straight back into the studio in just a matter of minutes. Bimbo, can you say something, please? And I'll just be sure I can hear you.
I'm here. Hello, hello,
Perfect.
hello,
Hi,
hello.
Hey,
darling.
James.
Thanks for joining us.
Hi. I'm so glad you guys have Carmen on the show. Bimbo is a bit of a crew, so I don't think she's a fan of this topic at all. Carmen definitely watches porn. Yeah, all kinds, different ones.
Very different
Girl on
one.
girl, different ones. Yes, girl on girl, man on girl,
No, really,
man on
man.
girl on man on girl. Oji.
Fada.
All of them. What is the one, the tie up, the one, the tie down, the hand swinging, chandelier, flying,
I said it. I say if I have show and I don't bring Carmen, let me close the talking drum and come and be going. Let me just come and go.
The one that use toys, the one that use
very good.
rope,
Hey, Hamlet's Superstore, welcome. Welcome.
And the one that's fiction, can I remember that one too? We watch the anime. You know, all
anime, yes.
All your imagination. Name what you want to dream of.
So let me.
Well, that's one of the reasons now. It kind of helps. I mean, it doesn't replace your imagination, and definitely doesn't necessarily replace what you like.
Okay.
It just helps inform you on what things you might like or might might not like. So if you watch something and you think, okay, I'm feeling slightly, I have a weird taste in my mouth. It feels distasteful, or you feel like you just want to, you feel slightly ashamed and you want to cover your face or something like that, then you know that's probably something you wouldn't want to try with your partner. So, move that out of the way. Don't even try and embarrass yourself, especially when it depends on what it is and everything. So I think, yeah. Plus, I don't see anything wrong in it. It's
okay, so what would happen if you met a guy who said, look, I watch porno, that's what's up, what would you judge him in any type of way? And also, have you ever or would you ever consider watching porn with a partner?
Okay, so if a guy said he watched porn, I wouldn't judge him for that.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, with everything, there's excesses.
Absolutely.
As long as the person is not excessively watching porn or addicted to it, then that's a completely different thing. If it's recreational, occasionally, help yourself get to the end and all well and good.
Yeah.
Definitely couldn't judge. Now, if it's a case of watching porn with a partner, I've actually never done that before, and I don't think it's something that I'll miss. I think it would take a specific kind of person to get me to a point where I feel comfortable enough watching porn with them.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, whatever my idiosyncrasies are, I there will be. I can only share them with specific people.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't want to share them with just anybody, and that's one of the things. So it wouldn't just be anyone. I haven't tried it with anyone before because there hasn't been someone who could bring that out in me.
You'd feel comfortable with.
That happens. Exactly, yes. Until that happens, I don't think I would necessarily resent it. I just think it would depend on the person.
Okay, perfect. I'm remembering all y'all's answers because I'm gonna come round to all y'all back again. But there's something that's giving me a lot of pleasure right now because I really, you know how we do on the Bad Gang House, we're trying not to have like a women's only gathering, like a whole bunch of women all agreeing with themselves and all saying, so I love a balanced debate. I love a balanced discussion. So I am so pleased that we are joined by the Barry Whites of the Bad Gang House because I would love a male perspective. You guys have got me all tongue twisted and all sorts of things. I would love a male perspective on this issue. So on that note, hi Dolakbo, how you doing?
Hello.
Hey, hello ladies, how are you?
We're very well.
Hi Carmen.
We have Carmen, we have Stella's here, we have Inkiru Kama, and then of course myself, the just completely unbiased host.
Wow. Well, I've been on since you introduced Carmen,
Okay.
so I was able to listen to everything Carmen had to say. I'm not surprised because that's Carmen speaking.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we had to have a conversation like, please, 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 please tell Bimbo to sit her ass at home. We need Carmen to come online and tell us what is really going on. So I'm so glad she was able to join us.
Right. So off to the topic. What exactly are you asking me?
So we're asking you, do you watch porn? Simple and short. If you do, do you indulge in porn? If you do, what sort? Is it just to watching it, or is it the reading their books and stuff like that, or is it just the watching it? And also, if your partner was interested in porn or actually signified that they do watch porn, would you feel some type of way about it, or would you actually have you ever introduced it into your home life as a couples thing?
Okay, that's a whole lot of questions from in one breath right there. Have I seen it before? Yes. Do I watch it? I'm not sure what that question means. It's not something I actively seek out,
Okay.
but I'm definitely not adverse. I'm not opposed to it. So if it's something that's on and we happen to be watching, well, good, no problem with that.
Wait. So let me go back to that. You are a grown man who has your own house, right? So it's not as if you were in someone's house and porn accidentally came on the channel. So if
Yes, it's my own house.
so if there is porn, that be saying that you on them. So don't tell me this. I don't actively seek it out, but if it's there, if there's porn in your house, I like to think it's not the twins or it's not your boy. So who put on the porn that you have seen that you don't actively seek out, but you have seen?
Okay, I'll probably say is more likely me.
Aha!
In the sense that I'm way more adventurous in terms of what I want.
Okay.
And it's something that we may look at and then debate over, okay, yes, I mean, we should try that, or nothing extreme, though.
Okay.
I think I've mentioned this several times on this panel before. You're not going to tie me down. It's not possible.
I'm going to come back to that, actually, reality versus fantasy. Right. But before we go down that route, I was going to ask Stella something. Okay, maybe it'll come back to me. So yeah, you were saying nothing extreme. You probably are more adventurous. So if at all anything, you're the one who would bring it. Yes. Now I remember what I was going to ask. For the people who do watch porn. So Nkiru, this question isn't necessarily for you. Have you ever associated any kind of guilt with it? Like, hey, God, what is this I'm watching? Why is this so dirty? Why am I have a perfectly, why am I even watching this, basically? Do you ever associate any guilt with it? The room. I want Stella to answer a couple questions before she leaves. Stella might have to leave us briefly. Okay. Stella, can you still hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so have you ever associated any kind of guilt with watching porn?
No.
Unless not be Stella. Moving on. Dollar. I said the answer.
You know what? Ask me that question again. Maybe I missed it. Rachel. Ask me a question again. Did I miss something?
As it did no, just too precise. Not even no room for any kind of. There was no, just no.
No, she didn't even.
She didn't blink. She didn't stutter. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. You got the question. You got the whole question. Bimbo, what do you think? Have you ever associated any guilt with your porn watching or reading or anything like that?
or associated what, sex or
any guilt to watching porn? Does porn
guilt?
hold any guilt for you?
In some instances, yes, it does. As much as I would like to be so progressive and down with the way things are now, there's still a huge part of me that has instilled that whole sex guilt associated with sex in some instances. So, like, I don't know how to put it exactly. I can't really let go of the part of me that tells me sex is only for marriage or various things like that. So porn and things like that. Sometimes, yes, there will be some, I'll have some guilt towards it. But however, I don't think that, I think that's something that only happens once in a while.
Okay.
It will never be a constant, which is actually quite good for me. Because, I can't go through that whole feeling constantly guilty
every
about
time, yeah,
porn or anything. Exactly. So yeah.
Okay. Dolapo, do you ever feel any guilt with porn when in the times that you have accidentally just come across it on your TV or on your laptop where it's just happened to be there? Have you ever associated any kind of guilt with it in any way?
I'm not sure I do feel that kind of guilt. I mean, maybe from that religious point of view where they try to hammer into your head that, you're sinful, you're a sinner, you will rot in hell and all that crap. One thing is for sure is, I mean, like I said, I'm the more adventurous one in this union, so I'm usually the one that will probably come across it, and if it's something that she happens to see the screen, and I'll just watch her reaction for it, and I go say something sarcastic about it and go like, the test at me,
Yeah. So you don't have any kind of guilt. I'm just trying to work out the dynamics. So when you are showing her this video, this is to Dolapo. Now, when you're showing her this video, is it in the hope that it will arouse her? I mean, obviously, there's, like you said, it has to be somewhat vanilla. You are not into tying up. You're not into any of those things. So is it in the hope that this will act like some kind of foreplay, will arouse her to the point where she might get a little bit frisky or might want to do something? Or is it literally just, is it literally just a curiosity thing?
Yeah, I think the former is more often the case because sometimes we could get carried away with our busy life and work and kids and everything. And as a bobo now, I mean,
after a couple of days, you want to know what's really going on.
Exactly. So you just kind of like throw that as an instigator a little bit, and then hopefully in the next 20 minutes you can see that twinkle in her eye. And you go, okay.
Yeah. I completely agree. Now to the unfortunately we've lost Stella, but she will be back, and we'll talk to her when she gets back. Once again, to the watchers, and I'm so sorry, Nkiri, I will try and bring you back into the conversation, but I can't ask you questions that you don't.
I'm making notes, I beg, because you don't me. I be JJC. Go on.
So
what is Nkiri saying that she
doesn't? But you remember now, Dolapo, you remember we've had a program. Remember we did masturbation right at the beginning of the series, and Nkiri actually said she doesn't masturbate. So when she said she doesn't really watch porn, I can understand, because what's she going to use it for? Like, okay, you get all dressed up with nowhere to go.
What are you trying to say? Eh?
If you don't masturbate, what are you doing with all the porn though?
I'm useless, I beg. I'm seriously writing notes down. Oh. Jokes apart, I will send you a picture when I finish.
I want to talk to Bimbo and Dolapo because is there a thing between...
Why are we both now sounding like we're the accused?
You're not accused. I just want to know what's in the read they happen. At the end of the day, I can't ask in crew because she used to do anyhow. Stella Stella has gone. She will be back in about 20 minutes and she will join us. And, at that point, I will ask her as well. But for now, I want to ask this. The porn you watch, does it mirror the kind of sex you are willing to have? So someone like Dolapo that will not entertain either tying someone up or being tied up himself, would you ever watch bondage porn, for example? Or do you only watch the kind of porn that looks like the kind of sex that you and your partner already have?
Honestly, I'll probably say I will watch something that seems like I can probably get into and do on my own. I mean, physically too. I'm not going to do something that looks like a Superman that is doing it. I mean, I'm not going to fool myself into thinking that, I can carry that 200-pound woman and just be jumping her up and down anyhow. I don't have that strength. I'm too old for that.
So that is what I'm trying to say. If you already have a particular kind of sex anyway, why watch that kind of sex again? Because, for example, when I go and watch Mission Impossible and Tom Cruise jumps off the building, I'm not going to go and look at the next skyscraper and say, where can I see rope to buy? Oh, I wouldn't mind jumping from this building. So why do you not watch porn that is fantasy-like? If that makes sense.
Let's analyze this. I'm trying to choose my word carefully because I'm at work here. When you look at when you look at this particular issue or this topic, and you look at the various type of actors and actresses that can be in there, it could be MF, MMF, MFF, I mean, I'm a little bit selfish. I am not going to be looking at an MFM because I'm not bringing another Bobo into this equation so that Bobo can now come and start showing off that he can do better than me.
So he does. You don't cross swords. Basically, you're not in. You do not cross swords with anyone.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, I'm a little bit selfish. That what, a scenario with MFF. Sounds plausible for me, but I know that's not what my wife would want.
That's very interesting. Has your wife ever expressed interest in porn other than the porn you have shown her? Has she ever said, my dear, should we watch this one? Or what do you think about? They have these other categories, or Sheka Wonton Shembenye, or what have you. Could we?
No, as naughty as she might sound on Facebook. Believe me, she is quite shy when it comes to things like that. So I'm usually the guilty culprit in this instance.
Okay, all right. But that's and again, that's the point of this whole conversation. We know that we, as human beings, we run the entire gamut. We have people who not only don't watch it, but completely abhor it. If you tell them you watch porn, they'll be like, hey, and they'll start praying for you and start speaking in tongues. We have people who are, I don't watch, but, if you watch, that's fine. I don't care. This. By the way, Nkiru, I want to ask you about that. So you were saying about how your ex-husband used to watch it more than football fans watch the Premier League, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Where did he, I'm asking, the question is coming. Where were you when he's busy watching all these things, or how did you know he watches? Is it that he just used mouth to say to you, oh, by the way, I watch porn? Is it that you caught him, or does he just openly do it, like he'll be in the room and be watching porn?
No, funny enough, he would never watch it when I was around.
Okay.
Or he'll watch it when I was around, but obviously maybe on his laptop. I don't know what he's doing now, so I think he's working on the laptop.
Yeah.
It was one day I enter one drawer,
Jesus.
Hey, Shaggy. In fact, jaw dropping is an understatement. What I saw with my koro, I cannot explain it till I die.
Oh yeah, tell me, what was his Where did he tend towards?
He was everything. Whether it's, I think he was into more orgies. He was
Okay.
into like serious orgies, not one, not two, three, or orgy as in like
Full on.
rabbit making. Hi, Father Lord. But it was all there. It was everything. He was into it. And then later, when I saw it, I was like, you watch porn. I have not, like I said to you earlier, I have nothing against it or anybody watching it. It's a preference. Everybody has a preference. It's a preference.
Sure.
And if that's what makes people, give them that little,
If
why
you
not?
get ginger, if any small ginger.
Anything with ginger the swagger,
Uh-huh.
I'm all up for it. But for me, it doesn't ginger me. It doesn't
Okay.
turn me on. It's very
Okay.
bad. I feel sometimes like I'm like frigid, but I know I'm not. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know I have a high sex drive, but that doesn't do it for me. So it's a case of, I said to him, are these yours? He goes, yes. So
Now, really, are these yours? In case somebody had broken in the house in the middle of the night or something.
I said, you watch? He goes, yeah. I go, okay. That's all right then. At least why didn't you tell me now since that you watch? So sometimes when, we're getting all down and whatever, I'll be wondering why he wants to make some moves on me. And I'm like, bro, why are you changing up the status quo now? This is not.
Nah, it was the one that showed in last week's episode.
But there's certain extent.
It's the one that showed in last week's episode that he's trying with you. So, on to Bimbo. So, Bimbo, you tell me, where do you only watch the sorts of sex that you are comfortable having, or are you willing to go further in your mind than what your body would actually physically do?
I definitely go further in my mind than what I am willing, comfortable, and also interested in doing. So one of the whole reasons that I got myself comfortable with not having a problem with porn is because it allows me to have that fantasy in my mind without actually having to necessarily practice it. So
Okay.
I can do things that I would never ordinarily do in my mind, the same as watching a porn that I would, I can watch it, but I would never try it. And that's
Okay.
how I allow myself to experiment on some of these things. And as well, I also use it as a way to kind of gauge where I'm comfortable with things. If I'm not comfortable with something, if I'm not even comfortable watching something specifically, then I'm certainly not going to be comfortable trying it
Actually
out.
doing it.
So it also sort of helps me gauge where my tolerance level is. So yes, there are, I do watch some porn that I would never try.
Yeah.
Never.
And I agree with that. By the way, I didn't state do I watch porn? Yes, I do. What sorts of porn? What genre? If they can sing it safe, I will listen to the musical. Like, whatever. All kinds of porn, all kinds of whatever they do, however they do it, I'm more than happy to watch, read, listen, whatever that may be. For me, in terms of fantasy, if anything, I am bored with. So there's certain porn that I completely will not watch just by virtue of even just the title. So anything that is, you've seen those ones that they write, barely legal, or see what he does with this. I can't cope with those titles and I cannot watch them. So for me, even though you can look into some of the faces and you're like, girl, if you are 17, I am Tina Turner. You are a liar. You are 34, sure up there. You are not 17 anyway. So, even though I know that they're probably not even teen, but I can't, but there are always these anorexic looking, maybe that's what they think teenagers look like not quite developed or not quite, I don't know, but it just, I can't watch it. Can't watch it. Then you have family porn, incest porn, that, my stepdad did this to mba. Can't watch it, won't watch it, don't want to know, don't want to. It's possible for two complete consensual adults people, strangers, not related, to actually meet each other and have sex, and let that be where my fantasy ends. However, I will happily watch BDSM. I will happily watch a whole bunch of things that I would not happily partake in. I don't mind if it's even a little bit rough. Whereas for me, my dear, I'm not being funny. If you hold my neck somehow, me, I will conk you. God knows, I'm not even. If you are doing something a little bit rough and you are thinking, oh, it's part of we're doing dominance and submit, I will follow you and do it, so no problem. If police doesn't show up at your door tomorrow, call me anything you like. I'm gonna know who I am in this London. I don't like it. Don't do me anyhow. So I watch porn all the time that I would not happily reenact. And so when I kind of started watching porn, I started watching porn that was as close to who I am and what I do. So one man, one woman, one black man, one black woman, And then after some time, I started like, have you ever gone into the category section? There's like 52 categories. I said, Jehovah God of Okokomaiko, what is going on here? So I'm like, this one too is a category. Then you see some other places like, oh my gosh, POV. Then you first of all go and Google POV, because you don't want to just open any window anyhow, or in case it's another thing that your eye will see. You first of all go and first of all open it in incognito. So this is porn 101 for the listeners. You go and open it in the incognito mode on your browser, or your web, on your phone or whatever, and then Google POV. It means point of view. That's all right. As in, are we having a debate about the porn? Which one is POV? I opened it in. I thought I would see people sitting around the table having, from my own point of view, this is what's happening from my own point of view. Turns out that is not what POV means. There's one called Pearl Necklace. I was like, ooh, there's a jewelry section. Ladies and gentlemen, it was not about jewelry at all. At all. I'll just leave it at that. So I started like, you open stuff, and I was always quite curious about my reactions to certain things, where I would open certain things and within 30 seconds I've closed the window like, oh my God, that's disgusting. Do people actually watch this? Do people actually get off on this? And then there'll be other things I would open. I'd be like, oh, hello. What are these people doing? Then there are other things I would open that I would be checking my wristwatch. I'm like, are you serious? Is this all there is to this thing? Is this where, now here we go sleep? They done the dark. When are these people going to do what they're doing and stand up and live there and let's know where the real action is? One of those for me, and let me talk to Bimbo. I'm not even going to ask Dolakbo, because Dolakbo is a guy and all guys like this thing, but I'm not asking Dolakbo anything. Bimbo, what is your take on girl?
I love it.
I know, Kid Moso.
Are you people?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Jerry. Carmen.
Is Bimbo here with us today?
Sorry, Carmen, Jerry. Fine girl.
Carmen is here. Girl on girl, obviously not my personal taste, in the sense that my preference and maybe my third love is Kondolopa. However, I would not. However, I would still watch girl on girl. I would still watch girl on girl. I mean, look,
Dolapo, you were here. You were here when this thing happened.
Nothing can replace the sweatiness of man, that feel of man, that whole sweatiness and the smell, the slight heaviness and the little roughness of a man. I think a girl would just be too girly and soft. And what am I going to do with the boobs? I mean, seriously, why do I need that? I got my own. It's just I want to be touching something else, please. No. So that doesn't work for me, but I can watch it. And this is a typical example of being able to watch something that I would never really try. However, in saying that, I think that I don't know. I'd like to think that maybe there might be an occasion where I might ever try it once in real life, but I don't know. Okay, get me Charlize Theron, I might tell
And you
you
consider
yes
it.
or no for definite. Exactly. I would seriously consider it with Charlize Theron. I think I might go there with that. So, yeah. Outside of that, it's got to be a man. Or man.
I see your Charlize Theron. I see your reasoning. That is civilized, a civilized thought process. Yes, if you are going to even get involved
I
at
thought
all.
about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Girl on Girl bores the bejesus out of me, and the one that bores me more than Girl on Girl is Girl on Girl and Strap On. Like, Kiwala and
I know.
what's so why are we even
point?
here? Why are we even here? Maybe there's some lesbian up in here that's watching this and loving what they're seeing, but for me, I do not see what we're doing here at all. I don't see the point of it, but I understand that they possibly did not shoot it for my demographic. Hi, Dolakbo. So
Yes,
I'm going. I understand that they probably didn't shoot it for people like me who might criticize it and have a problem with it. There are other people who are more than happy with Girl on Girl. I'm not that person. So good luck to them. I agree. Anything I'm getting involved with, there has to be an element of penis involved. Otherwise, everybody should just come and be going home.
You see, and I can understand it from you ladies' point of view. I can get that, but look at it from a man's point of view. You see, you ladies are the one always receiving, and we're the one giving.
Right.
So for once not be able to have an out-of-body experience where you're watching a lady receive, and it's not another man, but you just want to see the whole full picture live.
What picture are you seeing? So if a lady is now receiving from another lady, I mean, I don't. It's just what you. It's what you do. It's just what you do anyway.
The sense is you're not fully, you're not able to totally comprehend why you're in there doing it. You have a lady with you, you know. If she's receiving it from the back and you're right there, sometimes you may not be able to see facial expression to even know whether you. So those are things that now it's a learning process for a guy.
Interesting.
We take notes.
Well done, O'Shea undergraduate. So let's. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just take this moment to reiterate the phone numbers you can call if you'd like to join us in the studio. If you are based in the United Kingdom, please call 0330 998-1261. If you're calling from the US, then you have your +1, which is your country code. But basically, you need 01712-770-4032. That number again is 0712-770-4032. If you are calling from Nigeria, you need 01-440-5024. So that's basically a landline number. Nigeria, once again, is 01-440-5024. In all cases, you're going to need the access code, which is 264812. That number again is 264812. Thank you very much, and we look forward to hearing from you. So let's move on to quite a serious conversation, quite a serious question, which is, does it have a place in a marriage or a long-term relationship? Does pornography have a place in a marriage or long-term relationship? If you are, quote unquote, happy sexually within your marriage, happy sexually within your relationship, why should you still resort to porn? There are people that say if you still have to watch porn, there is something missing. Does anyone in the room agree with that?
I disagree totally with that.
Okay.
I disagree simply because it's not something that is a very vital and, important component of your marriage. No, it's not. It
Sure.
doesn't have to be involved in all marriages. No.
Sure.
Now, the thing is, in some marriages, who knows, maybe it might have helped them out when they have that low, both of them have that low drive, and one is probably feeling bored and going like it's always the same thing. He will just come over now, just touch breast more,
And
2 seconds,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
just remove
yeah.
pant, and then he's done. Dude might not even know any better, so he might need some
Absolutely.
training in that aspect. I'll probably say that even with the recent case of famous apostle that we've talked about, he probably might have helped out in his marriage for his wife not to know that he likes alaja.
I think that's really interesting. There's a okay. I'll talk about this later. We're going to talk about the negative implications of porn. But yeah, I think it could be a sexual aid. Absolutely, it could be a marital aid if used properly. If used with wisdom, it could actually be something that a couple could do together and actually help their sex life. Bimbo, what do you, Carmen, I'm sorry, what do you think? Do you think there's a place for it within a marriage or a long-term relationship?
To be honest, I think it depends on the marriage. Each marriage is different. Each sexual relationship between specific partners are different. I don't think there can be a one-size-fits-all. If the two people in the marriage are uncomfortable, or even one person within the marriage is uncomfortable with pornography, then why on earth would you have it in your marriage? You keep the other person at a constant anxiety state, and I don't think that's necessarily ideal for any marriage. So it really depends on the people. If the two people in the marriage kind of find a middle ground as to how to work with, how to incorporate pornography into sex within their marriage, great. If not, you can't really, you can't lose sight of one of the reasons why relationships and marriages have sex. Outside of just being able to procreate, there's also that intimacy that you get from it. There's the enjoyment and everything. And I don't think you should then replace that with pornography. If it's not going to work in your relationship, I don't think it should be forced. If it's something that then adds to the excitement of what you already have, great. But the sole basis of sexual relationship within marriages or within a relationship should not be based on pornography. If it is, there's a serious issue in that marriage or relationship.
Yeah. I think I remember there's a what's his name, a Dr. Phil thing that he said, and I've remembered it since then, and it holds true for just about anything to do with sex, as far as I'm concerned. He says if the sex is great in a relationship, it is just 20% of that relationship. If the sex is bad in a relationship, it wants to look like it's 80% of the relationship. When someone isn't getting it or isn't getting it the way that they want or isn't having all of the flavors and the spices that they want, you tell that person good morning, they'll be like, what's good about the morning? Please, 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 because they are sexually frustrated and are having some kind of blockage when it comes to talking to their partners about it. So it's like every other spice. It's just something that spices up your sex life. If you, like Carmen rightly said, if one party doesn't like it, like, oh, I'm used to using toys or whatever, the second my partner says, please, I don't want you sticking anything random inside you. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to this. Then it goes out the window. I can't have a sexual orientation that's, and like Dolakbo said, not like he's crazy about it, but he's probably the more adventurous one in his marriage. If for any reason he ever put on porn the first time or the first couple of times and his wife said, Kilele, what are you watching? What are you doing? No. I don't sign up for this. This is, I have a problem with this, or I don't agree with this, or I don't agree with what they're doing with these women, or I don't agree. You would squash it there and then. You don't continue to do something that constitutes a problem for your partner. Basically, it's just the height of selfishness, really. So I think for the people that say, oh, is there a room for it? And there's people that say, if you swear, if you use bad language, or if you curse or something, it must mean you have bad vocabulary. You don't know how to express yourself in a normal way. No, it doesn't. It's just an extra spice. I can say, get out. That's vocabulary. That's English. And that's very clear. I can say, get the fuck out. That's also English. That's vocabulary. It doesn't mean without the F word in there, I couldn't have made that sentence. It's just that's how I choose to express myself to make a certain point. So you cannot have a blanket, oh, if you do this, it must mean there's something wrong. If you use pornography, it must mean if you don't use it or whatever. So I think those people are somewhat misguided. I think they're wrong in thinking that, and I think it's between culture, between religion or tradition and stuff like that, we put boundaries on ourselves that we really don't need to. Nobody's saying watch anything morning, noon, and night. But if you are not interested, let it be that you are not interested. Not because you think something bad will happen, not because you think, it's not the right thing to do, or you start carrying some kind of random guilt around with you. So yeah, I think it does have a place in a marriage or a long-term relationship, as long as both parties see it that it actually has a place. So that's that. Which, you were about to say something, Barry White?
Me?
Yes, I thought you were going to say something.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to point out that when you look at couples, due to societal pressure and religious, pressure and all that stuff that's bombarded them on all sides and everything. So what they end up having is a very, very watered down version of a sex life, really. And this to me can contribute enormously to either the guy going outside.
But why is that? Why do we have?
Because either, and I'll use the church as an example, either because they become so intertwined with their church that they see themselves, and Madame has become Sister Mary, and Baba has become
Why do the women
Emmanuel.
go down that route? I want to have this conversation actually, because I heard something between in the last couple of days. So a woman held on to her virginity. She always wanted to be a virgin. She wanted to stay a virgin, and she wanted to marry a virgin. And she told her partner at the time. So then they got married. Of course, they did everything but penetration. They fondled, they did foreplay, blah, 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 all these things. So they got married. They're now supposed to do the thing. Oga, in his eagerness, really, Oga in his kidney, he rammed into her. This girl she was in pain for days. She was ready to sign off on sex for life. Like, if this is the sex people have been talking about, if this is what is this sex, if this is, then I beg, count me out. I will have as much sex as I need to have to procreate, to have children. Of course, the joys of marriage is pregnancy and blah, 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 blah. But other than that, I don't want a sex. Like, is this the sex? All she could associate with was pain, serious pain. And she wouldn't, and then it got to the point where, of course, because she wouldn't do it, Ogatu decided to start stepping out and then start making up this, the classic line now. But oh no, but this is this. I'm begging my wife. It's like she doesn't. It's like I'm I'm raping her. It's like I'm taking something from her. It's like she makes it lose all the, not knowing that he's the one. And because she didn't know that it's not even meant to be like that, she thought this is the sex. Sex starting by way. This is it. This is how sex goes. It comes with pain. That women, and she was also like, oh, that when she's heard her friends talking about it, they're saying, you'll be doing oosh, ash. So she thinks it's pain. She thinks pain is one of the ingredients. Should I call it ingredients, or I don't know, one of the parts of it, basically.
Byproduct.
Byproduct. So for a very long time, they had a very, very dysfunctional marriage where she will just give it to him when she cannot refuse anymore. Okay, it's gone on 2 weeks, it's gone on 3 weeks, this thing is nearly turning into a soleno or what have you. Then she will close her eyes, grit her teeth, blah, blah. And of course, Oga, either based on anger that he even has to beg, he just rams like a rammer. She was,
and that is.
You know what's said about sexual imprinting, how some people develop what their sexual preferences, or if they, depending on how society describes it or whatever it is, sexual deviances. It's whatever gets imprinted on you, and sometimes it doesn't necessarily always have to do with sex. Of course, with this particular girl, the story is not ideal. She now relates sex with pain, and for some reason that obviously has had an impact on her and how she feels about it. And she could easily have gone to a point where she just becomes asexual and doesn't. She
doesn't like it. She doesn't want it. She doesn't. There were even a couple of friends.
And part of the blame is on him and on her as well. I mean, if you're going to do something for the first time and you've tried everything else but penetration, I would think this is something that they've talked about. And him as well, first time, what is it? Are you breaking coconut?
but hey, look, let's bring this back to porn. There are we've heard locker room talk. Dolakbo, let's not pretend, but let's talk. This is Bad Gang, right? This is where we talk the real thing, right? So let's talk the real thing. We've heard locker room talk before that's like, by the time I was done, she couldn't walk for days. By the time, there are men who associate this pounding with good sex. There are men who associate this, come to that, there are women who associate this pounding with good sex. There are women who are like, they think it is part of the thing, like, just keep bruising away. So by the time, because of course, for me to even know the story, you must understand that it became a whole thing where she didn't want to have sex with him, and it got to a point where, so at first she was doing it like under duress, when she can't say no any longer or whatever, when the husband was like, you can't be depriving me of my tin now. Okay, fair enough. You made me wait. One thing. You're a virgin. One thing. Okay, now I've even entered the marriage. Are we still going to be we're going to do this like this, and there's nothing you can say about it. So every once in a while. So of course, even by the time they now do have the sex, he's having angry sex. So other than the fact that he thinks pounding is the way forward or whatever, he's now constantly resentful of his. So the whole thing has gone to hell in a handbasket. Now,
but then they also haven't had enough sex or enough time with each other having sex to be able to work out a rhythm, and that's part of what, when you're in a
rhythm, who wants to have rhythm with somebody using spanner to hit all your nuts and bolts and this thing?
When you talk about this locker room talk about guys doing this happens probably when they're in their teens and 20s and all that.
Dolapo, you are wrong. Let me tell you for a fact that you are wrong.
I don't think somebody in their 40s will be sitting around with guys talking and start to talk
that still applies.
let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it
Hobby.
applies. And this is me trying to bring it back to porn. Let me tell you why it applies. You see, men don't talk about sex. So, hey, women talk. They get downright graphic. They say how. They say what. If they have even the slightest impression that they are in good hands, as in they're I'm safe. What I'm telling Carmen is not going to go and tell anybody else. Or if they have the slightest impression, there's nothing women will not say. So women actually learn faster. We showered together. More and me hall was just a whole long. We have seen I've had conversations with men where I'm like, how do you not know that your penis is small? How can you tell me you don't know? Now you know very well that this thing is small, and you still came here with this smelling thing and all of this. So men genuinely don't know. You would never be in a gym and be checking out another guy's junk, whereas I'm like, Omo, I didn't realize you had inverted nipples, Sophie, or I didn't realize, oh my gosh, wow, how did you get your thigh gap, gin or whatever, So it's women talk all the time. When a guy doesn't talk about, I once let me say, my friend said to another friend who was with a guy that there was this guy who would only come or orgasm just everywhere. He would pull out an orgasm. He wants to orgasm in her hair. He wants to orgasm on her back. Ew. He wants to orgasm on her breasts. He wants to, because of porn. Because of porn. Because men don't sit and say, oh, the sex was like this, the sex was like that. So they get their lessons from porn. They get what are they doing from porn? Yes, you're going to get married sometime to some woman and she's going to tell you, uncle, do you know what you're going to do? This thing, you're going to keep it inside the condom. Let me explain to you why. Ishewa Lola, and I don't have power for this nonsense that you're trying to do this, But to a large extent, men think, oh, let me look at the men who talk about threesomes. Oh, 2 women on me, this. The reality is, you only have one penis. You can only satisfy one woman, but porn makes it look like these women are more than happy to be climbing all over each other, more than happy to be both of them just worshipping at your penis. And that is seldom, if ever, the case. So porn is teaching a lot of stuff. I don't know if our groom in this instance got his lessons from porn, but certainly I think a lot of the things, from what I've later heard, a lot of the things he was trying to try with her is not what is inside missionary position, or is not the kind of thing that mommy and daddy do. It's stuff that they were quite kinky, which she was like, Jesus Christ, if this is the whole sex thing, then please, everybody should just leave me out of it. So this was how we got to this situation. And the way we still helped them fix the situation, other than lube, other than a whole lot of lubrication and stuff like that, was also still porn. Like tutorial videos, a whole bunch of foreplay, tone it right down, turn it into lovemaking, make it into something gentle, but otherwise, now she's better. I don't think she'll be 100% woohoo, let's go swinging from the chandeliers, but it was that first impression, that first thing that happened completely changed how she looked at porn. Has someone... I'm sorry, I'm just gonna...
me.
Is that you?
Somebody has a call coming in.
Yeah, I think it's Bimbo, so I've just muted her briefly. So that colored her entire experience. So yes, maybe porn has a place in marriages, in long-term relationships, but it has to be handled with care, like everything else. Should an adult drink? Yes, but handled responsibly. Should an adult smoke if they want to? Yes, but handled responsibly. You cannot then turn to, to use all your money to go and be buying vodka and be buying wine every Saturday night and still say, after all, I'm an adult and drinking is not illegal. Porn is not illegal. There's nothing wrong with wine. There's nothing wrong with porn. It's how you handle it that makes all the difference. All the difference.
I agree.
So, let me see if I can bring Bimbo back into the studio. Hi, Bimbo, can you hear
Hello.
us? Hello.
I can, yeah.
Welcome. Sorry about that. I think you had a call coming in, so I had to mute you right quick, but you're back. So, let's talk about the negative implications, other than this one that we've said, like you can learn good things, but you can also learn bad things. Has anyone ever watched porn and it affected how they were with their partner? Like reenacting sexual scenes, sexual positions, or maybe withdrawing into a porn mental state where you don't even want to have sex with that person. You're like, I can equally sit here and do 2 hours with this lady busy doing foreplay, or I can just quickly do what I want to do in the bathroom. Within 15 minutes, I'm good and I'm ready to go and sleep. Especially if part of the foreplay has to do with begging, oh yeah, now, fine girl, oh, just the tip, blah, 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 blah. Does it ever become quite a handy solution than dealing with your partner?
No. Can't speak to that.
I'm listening.
No. Just don't have that experience now.
Okay. Bimbo, has Carmen, I'm sorry, Carmen, has porn ever slipped over into your life?
Nope. Nope. I've been clear enough to. I do not mix the two at all in my head. If I'm in, if I watch the porn thing, it's purely kind of fantasy or just fun and everything. But the actual taking part in in sexual intercourse with partner, that's completely different. They're the ones I need to focus on, them and myself. The porn that I might have watched 10 minutes or 2 months ago does not come into it. I'm not trying to replicate the moves that I saw. I'm purely going by instincts, what I'm feeling with that person, how
Absolutely.
I'm feeling, how they're feeling, and I don't even marry the two at all. And I think maybe that might be one of the problems for some people, is that they do end up marrying the two. I don't necessarily think they have to coexist in the same place. So I've never had a problem with that.
Yeah, I think that's the it just spills over from virtual to reality, really, and people take down the barriers, I'm all constantly surprised by, like I said, I've watched porn. I do watch porn frequently, and I have my moments with porn where I will probably be watching it at a very high frequency of like 3-4 times a week. And then I go entire months where I don't even touch it. It doesn't even occur to me. It's not even on my radar. But even in the periods when I'm really prolific with porn and I'm making heavy use of it, or it's in heavy rotation, I'm constantly surprised when I then turn around and sometimes you read the comments at the bottom, or sometimes where you see guys talking, some adults, and people are like, but Linda Lovelace, this one is the one. Empire Queen is the one. I'm like, y'all know names? Y'all actually take time out to know who these people are and what they no, this one is very good, this one is, and I'm like, that is doing too much. Just find a genre that you like, watch it, and come and be going. And I think
move on.
Exactly. So, what do you say to, I've heard this before, what do you say to women who think porn is cheating? Like, oh my gosh, is he seeing her in his head? Is he wishing I was built like her? Is he imagining her breasts? Is he, this he's broken some kind of law here, or some kind of, like, I know it's not cheating. I know he didn't exactly lay down on top of her or whatever, but somehow I still feel betrayed. Dolakwa, what would you say to such a lady feeling this way?
I don't know. I'm sorry. Can you answer that question again? I'm trying to put my thought together here.
So there's been times when I've heard women say, look at porn as cheating, maybe because their partners are actually prolific or frequent watchers or viewers, or maybe their partners have this thing that I'm talking about where some people actually know names. They know, yeah, if this is the best one, this one is this one is that. And there are women who feel like, when I know that he's been watching porn, or me now knowing, or like the way Nkirika was saying, I saw a whole stash of DVDs or CD-ROMs or links on his laptop, I feel betrayed. I feel like, not like, I know he didn't sleep with them, but at the end of the day,
I'll probably say, to that woman to first of all examine themselves and their own sex life to start with. Uh, in most times, guys we're very visual in terms of what gets us going. We don't necessarily. Let's even look at the worst guy that probably goes out there and cheats virtually like every other hour or whatever. I can tell you that he doesn't, chances are he probably won't even remember who the women are. But when you dig deep down into what is going on, you probably might find an issue where he feels like this is really what I want in terms of the type of action or whatever, but I'm not getting it from this woman. And I do love her very much, but I just wish she can be a little bit more like this. I think I made a statement before in this panel before where I said, you know what, we definitely want Mother Teresa outside, but we still want that, SLUT in the bedroom. Why do you want to behave like that in the bedroom where it's just missionary style constantly and you lie there and make it feel like it's an obligation? When the man is starting to read your expression, your body language, and he's starting to see things like, Shamabo, Wagba, believe me, you are turning him off completely.
Because half of what I've had this conversation with a friend where I said, I don't know that I'm a good lover. I don't know that I'm good in bed. I don't think I've never taken polls or, asked for, what is that thing they're doing, Strictly Come Dancing, where they hold up cards of your scores and stuff like that. Nothing like that. But I think if there's one thing that holds a man's attention, it's enthusiasm. Act like you want to be there. Act like you actually enjoy what's happening in the room. Act like you like what he's doing to you. Act like you are into what is going on. Do a couple things yourself. Dare to experiment. Dare to free yourself. So if a man keeps feeling like he is forcing you, like he literally has to beg you or cajole you or force you each time, the pleasure goes. The pleasure just goes.
Yeah, sorry. Let me just make this statement. Get this straight. We know we're going to get ours. All right? We know we're going to, so long as he's able to stand, we know he's going to come. So what we want to do in between when we start and we get ours is to make you happy.
In between, absolutely.
In between. Absolutely. So if he's not, don't just act like you want to be there. Tell him if there's something you want him to do.
That's the thing, and that's why. So if a woman, like, I can't believe it. I thought we were happy. I thought we were fine. This. And then I find he has a whole stash of porn. I found all these DVDs, or I borrowed his laptop and I saw all these URLs. I saw all these things. I can't believe it. It feels like, is this dead? What would you say to her? How would you convince her that someone watching porn is not necessarily cheating? She knows the person isn't cheating. She's not saying she caught the person in bed with the porn star, but she somehow feels betrayed. How can someone turn that around to something that can actually help their marriage or help their relationship? And this question is to you as well, Bimbo. Anybody else in the house, just speak up. I'd love to hear from you.
Is people still with us? Carmen?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I was on mute. What kind of woman? Do you know what? I don't understand why any woman would think that was cheating. I mean, seriously.
They do. Bimbo, you know they do.
To be honest, I know they do. I know they do. I'm just trying to see in what scenario where I would catch my man watching porn and I think he was cheating on me. I suppose it would depend. See, now, if he was wanking to a picture of a friend or a picture of someone we know, then, in fact, you better run. You do better run. But if it was, I mean, it's porn, it's remote. And it's not like as if he's doing it while he's meant to be babysitting the children or they're in the room or something weird, like weird shit like that. If it's not that, why am I going to think it's cheating? But maybe I'm just going to be thinking, wow, please, let me take over the job, close laptop, and
let's cuckoo have a party.
Exactly. And this is one of the key things that I find. And in society now, generally, especially, last week we were talking about all this Joe Lumose page and everything, and all these other ones that keep talking like, oh, if you have sex with a man, I think the man's taking something from you, or men even acting like as if they've won this, this Super Bowl thing because they managed to get you to open your legs. I'm kind of thinking in a way that, dude, if it gets to a point where I have sex with you, I don't actually now, if I'm, except maybe we've agreed that, okay, no, you're going to call me or something like that, and then you don't call. I might be hurt about that. But you didn't steal something from me. This is not my virginity we're talking about. You didn't sneak up behind me and then play
clubbing me over the head. Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to. I thought about it. I thought, you know what, me too, I can get something out of this. I want to get laid. I want to enjoy myself.
Absolutely.
I want to do this. And then, yes, we did it. And whatever happens regardless of that, don't act like you stole something from me. And that's the other thing that women do as well. They're cursing the guy.
After everything, after sleeping with me, he now dumped me.
He's now not calling me. God punish you. You do this, you do this. I'm thinking, why are you taking God for you?
And God will not punish him. Let's get that out of the way.
Doing it.
Yeah, God will not
exactly.
punish him.
So this whole societal thing where they feel like as if something's been stolen from them, or men act like if
they've given them a favor.
Like they've successfully committed a coup or something like that. That is part of the mentality that kind of, breeds these kind of things. Like I said, he's cheating on you, he's watching porn, he's cheating on you. To me, he's watching porn, he's trying to satisfy a sexual need. And if I'm thinking,
he's sat in my house watching porn. He's not sitting outside. He hasn't. Do you get me? So one of our listeners just sends this in saying she needs to talk to him. If she feels cheated, talk to him. Most couples simply never talk about sex. Very frankly, all cards on the table type of talk. She needs to talk to him. So that is probably like the best solution I've heard. That just makes sense. Like, just say, so I found your stash. This is this. Okay, so let's talk about this actually, because I know of another couple where the guy was experiencing premature ejaculation, right? And they both knew. Like, of course, it's not possible that the guy will not know that he's premature, but they never talked about it. He'll come on top, he'll do his thing, 2 minutes max, he'll get up off her. Then she had said this to me, which I kind of wish she hadn't, because I'm looking at the man kind of funny now and all of it. Like, okay, fair enough, but now I know. But then one day she said to me that, she needed to do something, and she opened his laptop to send a message or to quickly browse something, and saw that there were like several windows open, all to do with penis, 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 penis. And so at first she was shocked, like, as my Oga crossed over to the other side, or what's going on here? Only for her to look deeper at the website, and there were actually, like cures for premature ejaculation, and, little tricks, how you can trick yourself to stop, all the way down to even like surgery, basically. Like, he had opened every window he could find on the topic. They were all open. So I now said, well, so now that you know he's browsing it, that means he also knows that this is a problem. So now you can actually bring it up. You can actually say, oh, by the way, guy, I had to send an email. I did kind of see what you were looking at, and I was just, can we finally talk about this? This now that I know that we're both in two minds. She said, so that what will happen? What's going to happen? That she can't have the conversation with him. Can you imagine how bad he must feel to even have to be browsing it in the first place, only for her to now be rubbing his face? I was like, how is it rubbing his face in it? By having a conversation with him about it. Number one. Number two, you are just the one losing out if you don't have the conversation. No, how would that conversation even go? How will she start the conversation? I was like, I just told you how you will start the conversation. You will say you had to send an email. Thank God you weren't even snooping on him. Thank God that it was a very innocent thing, but actually it has opened communication. She didn't agree. She didn't agree. So that's how they are sitting there in a crap sex life, and she was like, oh, that there's even times that the guy will have come. She knows he has come, and he will just be there pumping, like, oh yeah, baby, you get one. Say, my friend, can you climb down and just don't tell me any smelling, yeah, baby, anything.
I mean, he might have done that, but the boy is still strong and hard to go now.
Oh, strong and hard, Abami wo niyen eni tó ti dà tó ti.
He's already. When you're still young, you can't probably seem like you can.
No, he's just trying to save face.
I think the issue. I mean, I probably have a couple of questions for them, and things like, are they even comfortable being naked together? Does the guy suffer this anxiety attack when they're about to get started? And do they both seem like they're nervous around what they're doing? Because, I mean, in most cases when a guy has this problem, when I say most, not all, it's likely an issue of where it's a mind issue. For he's so anxious to please that he can't even control his bodily function. So question will be, he's really comfortable being in.
But how long does that? I can imagine that if you've been chasing this girl, you've been trying to get with her, you've wined her, you've dined her, all of this, and this is now, dun da da da. Every sign is leading up to the fact that y'all are gonna get laid tonight. I can understand how, you'd be anxious. This is husband and wife. You have been anxious to please. You have now pleased. You are not toasting. You are actually married.
It doesn't matter really, because even if they've been married for the last 15, 20 years, the point is, if they're still, we have couples that are not comfortable. But it's almost like, oh yeah, turn off the light. What the hell is going on? They're not comfortable. Even when she do it, either she's getting dressed. They don't want to get dressed in front of a guy. Don't even want to sit on the loo in your own bathroom in front of a guy. For God's sake, be comfortable. This is a person you're married to, and this is a person that, I mean, God forbid, should anything happen to you, this is one person that should not be faced about your nakedness If you have a heart attack or they need to tear off your clothes for whatever reason, you shouldn't be worried about your wife seeing you.
And
So
that's
this is an issue that has. I mean, the guy definitely has, and it's in the mind form, and she can help him out. Maybe to try be more, be comfortable with your nudity in front of him. Maybe do a little striptease for him and everything.
Dun, dun,
Try
dun.
and get that one, even if it's just that one that's always the problem. Let get that one out of the way quickly, so that you can actually reload with the full bullets, not the blank.
Jesu Oko Jo. The full bullets are not the half grenade. It is well with all of us. So, so I think that's important. I think, like our listener said, nothing will ever top conversation. Nothing will ever top frank. I'm amazed. I'm amazed at couples who will do a whole bunch of stuff together, will get pregnant, you will see a baby literally rip her in two and bring its head out of her lady garden. You will see, and they don't talk about certain, like, no, we don't do that. No, we don't talk about, we're fine. And you know them. By their stripes you shall know them, like I said to someone earlier on today, because they're the people all over social media, all over wherever, and you will be saying, oh, I got a problem with my husband, we don't have sex as much as we used to, and they're the first ones to Sean Jawani, is sex food? Is sex now food? That you people will now be talking about, what's this sex you people are even talking about? At the end of the day, if he's a good man, that's the important thing. And I watch out for all of them is sex food type of people, because I'm like, she ain't getting laid. She specifically isn't getting laid.
And they're the one that Denzel will walk in front of them and they'll be cross-legging like 10 times in a minute.
My brother, look, they're the ones that you should be most scared of them, because the day a work husband is gonna say something, the day somebody is going to try their luck, that's just the end. They're going to fall yakata with no barrier. If you are sexually no safety net. If you're sexually satisfied, one uncle will come and you say, because he has 6-pack now, somebody should not hear word, and hey baby, what's going on? Go back to who called you here? You don't have respect. Is it me that's hey baby? Why are you like this? Why don't you have home training? But these ladies who talk a good game, who talk this whole, oh, is it food? Is it now something that because of that one, somebody will now not hear word? Is it this? They will fall at the very first test, because they have not clad themselves in the armor of satisfaction. When you're satisfied and everything in your life is just okay, you don't need to prove anything to anybody. You could do well all by yourself. There's another one of our listeners here saying, Nalayo, yes, sex is food. I can live on sex for days, no lie. And dear Lenny, we have such characters in the house. So, I would like to talk finally about the ugly aspects of pornography. I want to talk about addiction. Is there such a thing as an addiction to pornography? Or is it just something people say as a get out of jail card? And if there is such a thing, how might we go about how would that person go about treating it? We've got Stella back in the house with us. Hey, Stella, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm back. I'm sorry, guys.
Welcome back. So,
you used all the juicy stuff.
And Stella, it was sweet there, child.
I will listen to it on playback. All of you, is anybody, other than Carmen, who else? Is anybody bad like me? All of you are good people, right?
Bimbo is the worst. Yes, Carmen is the worstest person in this group. I don't even know why we keep her around. She's too spoiled.
I don't understand why people like to be blaming me for shit like this. I'm such an innocent person.
It's sure.
Yeah, I just get all the bad rep.
It's sure.
I don't get it.
Soft and innocent. It's sure. You show for your body. So we're going over to the dark side of porn. By the way, let me ask you this question, Stella, since you've just joined us. There's still some noise coming from your end. I don't think it's you specifically. I think there's someone else speaking around you, or maybe some music or something. But I'm sure we can hear you just fine. When you watch porn, do you only watch the kind of porn? Did I ask you this before you went? Do you only watch the kind of porn that is the sex that you partake in? Or do you watch porn that is over and above something you would ever even think of trying in the bedroom?
I watch all kinds of porn.
Okay.
So over and above, I do.
Okay.
Doesn't mean I'm going to partake in it. I just find it interesting to see the crazy stuff people will do.
Okay. Is it interesting, like, Discovery Channel? Oh, wow, are you serious? A monkey has 27 bones in its body? Or is it interesting, like, Daddy Jamu, down Sale Kema Boloke type of interesting?
It is both. There are a few things where I go like, we've never tried this before. Let's try this. And then there are some things where I get like, come, Tolu, come. Have you ever like, oh my goodness. Yeah, so it's a little bit of both.
Okay. Do you have a, you know what, I do not watch this. This is not my bag. This is not, I can't even, other than the fact that I wouldn't do it, I can't even watch this. I do not watch this. Do you have anything like that?
Kids. No kids.
I said the same thing.
No even look like kids. No even an adult that look like a kid. Because I'm sorry, no kids.
Boom. Word for word. They have all this whole genre that is like barely legal. Teens go wild in something. I don't want none. Don't bring it near me. I will not watch it. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with kids at all. And I can't deal with family porn either. Like, oh, my stepdad came into the room and then this, I get it. Your stepdad is your mother's husband, is not your I don't want, just keep it away from me. But I completely see where you're coming from in terms of kids. It completely leaves me cold. I just can't watch it at all. So that's fantastic. So porn addiction, darker side of porn. Has anyone ever felt themselves slipping? Like, what's going on here? I've got to watch it almost every night in order to sleep, or I've got to, it's now become like a safety blanket, or it's now become like a... And if they have, or if you've ever heard of anyone having porn addiction, what would you suggest to the person as some kind of treatment?
Wow. Without taking the up.
Okay, so let me start with Bimbo so that we don't have... Bimbo, you were saying something?
I said to start with, their life is messed up. I shouldn't laugh, really. Yes, it's possible to be addicted to porn. It's possible to be addicted to anything, I suppose. I don't know, except for maybe reading books. Actually, no, that's true.
No, I was once addicted to reading books, so it's definitely possible to be addicted to.
Yeah, so you can't be addicted to anything. True. If they were, I think one of the initial things would be they need to see someone. They need to see a therapist. They need to talk to someone about it, because, to be honest, again, it comes back to that whole sexual imprinting. Why does the person feel like they need porn and that possibly a sexual release so regularly? Is it because they have issues with they've had issues in the past? Part of the one of the people, the kind of people that get addicted to porn are also people who've been molested, who don't know how to express the sexual, the frustration and the hurt they're feeling, and the only way they know how to express this thing sometimes is kind of like slightly sexual, and so there's various different things. They need to see someone. They need to discuss it with people.
Okay. Rachel, you were going to say, Stella, you were going to say something. So what were you about to say?
Along the same lines with what Carmen said, it's definitely very important to see someone, because you need to identify why is there such a need for this. is the easiest. That's the beginning of treatment. Without identifying the root cause, we are going to treat the symptoms, and the patient. Oh, I'm sorry. The individual is going to have the same problem. It starts with first of all agreeing that you have a problem.
Okay. So
if that person doesn't see themselves, sorry.
Yes. So I was gonna say, actually, I don't know if I'll call it an addiction, because if it was really genuinely an addiction, I think I got off it very easily. But I certainly went through a period where I'm sorry, I'm gonna mute you, Rachel, Stella, just because I think you're still driving. There seems to be a lot of background noise here. I had a period, so hey, okay, stories that touch. I had a partner who, the sex was fine. It was the lead up to the sex that wasn't. He did not. So you know how we talk about men who have certain party tricks. They have certain things in their toolbox, like, oh, I'm great at going down on a woman, or I'm great at doing this, or I'm great at doing that. And they don't know how to diversify that. So if they have a person who the thing that they are good at, that person doesn't like it. So if you are like, oh, I'm the best breast sucker in the West, and the person you're dealing with doesn't like her breasts being sucked, then you're fresh out of luck, because you don't know how to diversify outside of that one thing that you know how to do. So
one trick pony.
Precisely. My partner, when it came to the actual sex, was perfectly fine, but he did not know how to get me to that point of being fully aroused. And so I needed porn to like get myself in the, like, you know how it is, you meet up, you're going out for dinner, you definitely know that tonight is going to end with you going over by his or him coming over by yours and all of this. So already the tension starts mounting right from the restaurant. You're slipping into the bathroom, all the one that you're saying, oh, you want to quickly go and shower. I've got a couple of handy videos stored on the like, okay, I know these ones go from 0 to 60 in 3.5. I know this one will get me where I need to be, and quickly too, so it became like that. Like, then there were other times when I could have been aroused just by myself, just by, oh my gosh, I'm going to see him. Oh my gosh, because I mean, it wasn't just sex. I actually liked the guy, right? So just the knowledge of knowing that I was going to see him on a good day should have been enough. It now became like I needed porn. Even when he was doing the right things, I needed porn to get off. When he touched the right places, I needed porn to get in the mood. When he did and for me, this is what I think. I don't know about if you definitely need to see someone, but I will say this. There is no easing off the cold turkey. Just do not if you have some sort of porn. There is no little bit of porn. Oh, now I only watch it twice a week. Now I only watch it once a week. Now I only watch girl on girl. I don't watch those hardcore ones again. Now I only. There's no little bit of porn. Just cold turkey. While you're trying to work out what went wrong, how you ended up down this road, why it is that you need porn, why it is that you watch certain kinds of porn, cold turkey. Shut it off, and then now say to your partner, again, we're back to conversation, to discussion, like, see, I really like it when you touch me like this, or I really like it when you do this, or I really like it, that is, I mean, what would a sex therapist tell you? Try to, so hold on, let me get Rachel back in the studio. She might have some nuggets that she wants to bring to the table. And I'm speaking to Bimbo as well. When you say see someone, what would that even look like? What would that person be able to say to you?
Okay, I when I say see someone, and I'm saying see someone only because one of the most difficult things for us to do is to talk. And that's the solution to our problem. We seem to always need a cheerleader. We need someone to say, yeah, go talk to him. Tell him this is how you feel. We should know that. But for some reason, in this place and time where we find ourselves, it's a struggle for all adults. We need, or many people need someone, not everybody's like Rachel or like Stella, who's going to say, this is exactly how I feel, and this is what I want. Most adults seem to need a cheerleader, someone to coach them and push them and encourage them.
Absolutely.
And that's why I say see a therapist, because you need to be able to identify your root cause. You were able to identify that. You were able to say to yourself that, okay, I need to stop, and not just stop slowly. I need to do it cold turkey. Too many of us are too shy to even self-introspect and talk to themselves and try and see what is wrong. If I have a problem, I don't have a problem. We're too shy to do that. We're too afraid to do that. We want someone else to go in there and sinkhole and try and figure it out and then tell you, this is your problem and this is what you need to do to fix it. If you're not shy about doing that, then by all means, sort this out yourself. Talk.
Yes. Okay, I agree with that. I just thought, if I don't see someone, does it now mean I'm not healed? I'm sorry. I'm gonna mute you again, Rachel. There's an awful lot of background noise. Bimbo, did you say something?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't say anything.
Okay. So yeah, I think see someone by all means if you feel you need some help. But it works for me, and I'm just giving my own 2 cents. You cannot cut it off if it is encroaching. And by the way, it doesn't have to be addiction. If it is encroaching, you're on your own, you can't do without touching yourself. You're on your own, your mistress is there, your wife is there, your madam is there, and you would rather watch porn than actually, or something, maybe not necessarily porn, but like, oh, you have some pictures that you look at, all this, what's the name of this old man? What's his Hugh Hefner's book, magazine called, or something like Playboy. If you need stimulation other than the person in front of you, then that may not be addiction, but it certainly needs to be looked at. If that person is not getting you where you want to be, let's talk about when you have to resort to porn, i.e., now at this point, this woman is too big because, she's had a couple kids. Now at this point, this man drinks beer, his stomach is all the way out. I don't fancy this person again. I love him, but I don't fancy them. When I see them, I don't feel like getting naked with them or da. At the same time, I don't want to cheat. So left to me, I think porn is a very, very responsible outlet for the confusion or for the wahala that I'm in. Because at least I'm in my, they'll say I'm in my house. Now, it's not like I'm cheating. It's actually a good solution against cheating. It's actually this. I would rather touch myself, really. I would rather watch porn, look at all the slim, sexy women, look at all this big breasts and big bum and all of this, than have to deal with Yakao Sarat, and her double back, her buy one, get one free waist, love handles and stuff like that. What do you say to the person who has replaced their fantasies with porn? I haven't heard Dolapo's voice in a minute, so I'm going to go to Barry White. Barry White, what would you say?
Dolapo is busy asking for forgiveness.
What did you do? Oh, is it work? Should we excuse you?
No, that's cool. I think it might be a short-term solution to what is going to definitely be a long-term problem. It's not going to solve your problem in the long run. If for whatever reason, I remember some 20 odd years back when I was still in the U.S., I had a very close friend that he had this thing about even if he meets a girl, and the moment the girl should open her mouth and say, "I have a kid," that is it. It's not an issue of whether the kid is there. It's just that he just visualized that area and goes, "So, baby, don't come out for this area before,
This
like I
person,
can
but
handle
yeah,
it."
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I told him point blank, and I mean, I always tell him right there, I say, well, then you're going to have a lifetime problem, really, because even if you meet your wife, unless you decide that she's not going to be pregnant, she will then eventually born again. And then you will have that visual, and you start dealing with what are you going to do? Go to strip joint or what?
And not even strip joints, but go to strip joints forever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can imagine how much fortune you're throwing down the. So when you think that, oh, because my wife just had a kid, maybe the hormones are not there, the libido is not as strong, and you still have the urges or whatever, so you decide to turn to that other thing as a solution. Well, that is a short-term solution, because if you keep doing it, chances are you keep visualizing your wife in that manner, and the more you visualize her that way, the more irritated and turned off you'll get.
Okay, but okay, so what should you do? Should you pretend that you are liking what you're seeing when you are not liking it? Should you now be, I mean, this woman doesn't make my penis hard. This man, the way he looks, the way his belly, just the whole way he breathes on me, the way doesn't make me wanna have sex. I don't like. Rachel, you too.
Then, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, Stella is going to say, imagine Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, whoever it is that turns you on, and have sex with him. Like, seriously.
Fantastic
I don't always have sex with my husband. Sometimes it's Brad Pitt that's there, sometimes it's some other person. Depends on who catches my fancy. And I'm pretty sure it's vice versa. Figure something out. Do something. He doesn't have to know you're imagining Brad Pitt. Just do him very well, and you go to bed thinking you were just with Brad Pitt.
Okay, that's
Don't
good.
let Angelina find out sharp because she.
What do you think, Nkiru? I think I finally have a question that Nkiru can join in on. I'm really sorry we kept you quiet for the whole program, but I was really trying to get to the bottom of.
I had issues to do. I had issues down
I
here.
know.
As well.
I know.
Yeah. Oh,
how do you get your head back in the game if you don't find that person attractive?
Well, she is for better for worse.
It is.
Yes,
it's for worse at the moment. They will be better. So you, like Rachel said, think about Brad Pitt. If it's him, he should think about Angelina Jolie or Gabrielle Union for her.
Yeah.
There's 3 options. Abby?
My husband, I know my husband will still pack my load outside last because every night he's going to be Mahashala Ali. Mahashala, I love you, baby. Call me sometime. Let's do this thing.
It's amazing how you have just jumped on this poor guy's drawers and left Olamide alone.
Excuse me. Olamide is a small boy. Please, let's men. When men are talking. When men are talking. Oh no. When men off their shirts. Do you understand? So I have a caller on the line. Caller, telephone number ending 1498. Name or shame? Would you like to say your name or would you like to remain anonymous?
Man, the devil is a liar. I'm telling you, the devil is a liar.
I already mastered the number. Tonero.
I don't understand though. I'm telling you. I just look at the time now. I just saw 10 minutes to 10. I said, my goodness. The devil is a liar.
No,
7 more minutes.
And when you are talking about my favorite topic now,
we were
oh my
God. Faka. We talked Fiki Faka. Nothing we didn't talk about today, Tony.
Oh my God. We have to rewind. We have to rewind this thing.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness. Did Bimbo contribute at all?
She want to contribute, die. She contributed the two of you together. She contributed your own and her own together.
Bimbo, did you tell them everything?
Only some inside. Oh, hold on. I had her on mute.
Thank you. You can't keep it.
Bimbo, are you in here?
I am here. I am seriously here. Carmen told them everything.
Carmen told everything. How you people used to see
everything. Who is Carmen?
Carmen is alter ego. When she has bad things she wants to say, but she doesn't want people to.
Oh my
spoil.
God! I have to play this thing back when I.
She doesn't want to spoil her anointing. That's when she is Carmen. So she told us. She told us all about how you people used to curl up on the sofa. You people will now on porn. You people will now say, "Hey, which one are we watching tonight?" Then the two of you will now pick one.
Boo, you didn't even hide anything.
No, Papi, I did not hide anything at all.
I hope you didn't tell them about all my suckling. No.
Hey,
Papi, I told them no. I told them. I told them everything.
They call Papi.
Yes, sir. Oh my goodness.
That's how Tony Papi just came and scattered everywhere. So I'm sure.
You talk porno. Hey, don't worry.
Baby partner.
7 more minutes that this guy won't show up. So I don't.
Yeah, I know you are the one. The devil is a liar. You have failed again today.
Once again, you have failed. So let me ask you now, because now we're gonna have the Tony show, because we'd love to hear your points on this. Let's start from the beginning. Do you watch porn? If you do, what sort of porn? Do you have any sort of porn that you completely do not watch, or is it anything Olga goes? Because I don't even think I should ask you if you watch porn, because that's a stupid question.
I watch it dear, briefly.
Chin.
Yes. I don't watch the full video. I don't watch the full 3 hours. I only watch the 5 minutes that will help me. That will help
your solution. That will help your ministry to move to a permanent site. Very good.
Yes. So that's the only bit that I watch, and I watch when it is black girls and black boys, not also
all this something.
No. And I don't watch the one that they put in the place where they shit from.
Okay, you don't watch that one. Very good. I like her. You see, Tony, very, very precise something. So,
yes.
Let's just say it as it is. What would you say your consumption is like? Once a week, once a month, every day, whenever you get the chance, or what would you say your consumption is like?
No, maybe once a month or once in 3 months. Only when my boo-boo is not around. When my boo-boo is around, I don't need all fun now. My boo-boo will demonstrate. We ourselves are actors and actresses.
In it!
Yes, sir.
Boo-boo!
So we act everything out.
So, has it ever spilled into your personal life? Like, oh, you're watching porn, you now see something, or you're now having a situation where you are doing something, you and boo-boo are doing something, you're now imagining that it's somebody else, or something like that. Has it ever come between you and the person you are laying with? Or are you able to remove the two? Are you able to separate the two?
No, it's just I come up with some styles that were strange to the environment. And they will be like, where did you learn that one from? I said, don't worry now.
You don't need to worry about that. Spice up your life. Like Ajinomoto. It's very good.
Yes. Yes, You know, like my boob, like the one I like, my boob will really love it. When I tie her hand on top of her head to the bed, I tie the 2 legs to that she cannot move at all.
In public. Thank you very much.
You were saying all these things before now.
So you want other men to know what to be doing, eh?
Okay. Then don't let me teach them. They come and corner you.
Telling them exactly.
Fire all out there. This man from America, this man from Canada, that one. That man has been talking since.
Wants to use baritone to
Canada, my dear.
wants to use baritone to collect Boo Boo's pints. The devil is better. What? He wants to use baritone to collect Boo Boo's pints from her waist.
Don't worry, that baritone will soon turn to Michael Jackson voice now before he knows it. Yes.
Yes, now. Don't you know when?
Where's American Rachel? Is American Rachel there?
She wanna dead die. American Rachel, answer your present. Where is she? Oh, she's here. Maybe she went somewhere.
She was driving.
Oh yeah, she was driving.
Are you watching porn while you are talking on the TV?
I'm not watching while I'm talking. I'm just on mute.
Oh, you're on mute.
No, that's Boo Boo answering.
Yeah, all your money. Oh, that Boo Boo. Oh, Boo.
This radio show is over. Please, it's 10 o'clock. This show. Isn't that boo boo? Hey, God. I'm over it. It's saying that boo boo. Okay, it's his turn this week. You saw how Boo Boo was displaying last week. There was somebody that sat on top of something hot. So it's his own turn to be stammering this week. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank you enough. Thank you for a fantastic show. Thank you for joining us, Papi. Boo Boo, Yusuf, well done, though. Barry White, as always, it's a pleasure.
What are we talking next week? What is the topic next week?
We don't know what the topic will be. Do you want to suggest a topic? What do you think we should talk about? Hey, Papi, what do you think we should talk about?
Whatever the topic, just realize that it will start at about 10 p.m. your time.
It says 10 p.m. it starts. World people. Oh gosh. We're gonna by Friday we'll come up with a topic. Yeah. By the time we do our pre-call hour, we'll come up with a topic. But we're gonna have another scintillating topic for you next week. Thank you so much for staying with us. As always, it's a pleasure to air for you, take topics apart, put them all back together. Today was pornography. Next week will be, do you know what? I told somebody pornography, and he actually made me a flyer with pornography on it. I'm actually really proud of that. Thank you so much, guys. This time next week, we'll have another fantastic topic for you. As always, I am Rachel for Viva Niger Radio. Oh, yeah, everybody, go around the room and say good nights one by one.
Hi, good night,
everyone.
Hey, Tony, talk your own.
Hey, good night. With all this pornographic now, Boo Boo, stand validate to the room as soon as you drop the phone.
Hey, Father, in Kiruka, just say good night and let me off this thing. I'm tired.
Everybody, good night, too. Good night. Boo Boo and Papi.
Boo Boo, Papi.
Good night, God bless you all.
Good night, everyone. Thank you. See you again the same time next week. Bye. Boo Boo, Father, I'm done here. You guys just bye-bye.